One.
All right. On a little bit more serious note, I did the presentation with the papers and the great big huge spike. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that. This is something that really is going to cost you very little, especially if you already own your own spike. If not, just find some kind of sharp, elongated object that you can use to destroy the paper with. It could be a wooden dowel like this one that's been sharpened to a point. It could be if you found a really big, huge nail. If you want to talk about Jesus being crucified, you could certainly do that. Here's what you'll need. You'll need a piece of paper that has got the word or name Jesus on it. Now, of course, these papers can have whatever message on it you want to put on it. The reason this is called the jumbo pen through dollar is because I originally saw this done with a dollar bill. You fold a dollar bill in half, you wrap a piece of paper on it, shove a pencil through it, and the dollar bill's unharmed, but the paper has got a hole through it. And so I thought, wouldn't that be really cool if you did that and the paper represented us and the paper wrap around it was Jesus. He took the punishment for us. So this piece of paper, just for your knowledge, this has been cut down to 10 inches by 8.5 inches. All right, just so you know. And this has been folded with about a 1-inch lip. Okay, this is important for you. Then you should write this down or take note of it. But it just takes you kind of experimenting. What are you comfortable with? All right. The next piece of paper is the piece of paper that says "You and Me." Now, of course, this could say anything. This could be a picture of you on this piece of paper. And what you need to do, this piece of paper is cut 7 inches by 8.5, or 11, I'm sorry. This is 11 inches, this is 7 inches here. Okay. Fold it again so that there's about a 1-inch lip. By doing this, you create a nice folder so that it's very obvious where things are and what's happening here. Here's the other modification you have to do. On the you and me or me and you paper, about 2 inches down, you're going to cut a slit right there. All right? And that slit is the secret to the trick working. Now, as you can see, it's here, so I can cover it with my fingertips, and it's not noticed, it's not seen. People are reading the words. Okay? Once this is folded, it's not seen because it's cut 2 inches down, and this is a 1-inch lip. Make sense so far?
Yes.
When it goes into the folder, you can see it back here, but because it's in that folder now, you can't see it again. All right. Here's what's happening, and I'll do it without the folder. You are going to put the spike between here, but it's going to go right through this slit right here, and so it goes right in here, just like this, and pierces through the paper that's surrounding it. But you got to admit, that looks pretty good right there. Right? Okay. So one other little touch that I added to this is that I took an X-Acto knife and just scored a few X's on there so that it would bust through a little bit easier. All right? Okay. So a big secret to this, of course, is I'm not going to show what message is here yet. The audience just thinks this is a piece of paper I'm using to wrap around this. The spike goes between, and you'll be amazed, it immediately finds that flap. There it is. And now it's a matter of just getting it right close to the middle and piercing it right through there. And I mean, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty convincing because they can see it all the way around. They see that spike going between the folds of that paper there. Okay, the spike is removed. Right, you could keep it here. You could throw it away. One idea I had, and I'll show you in a minute. You're going to bring out the me and you paper, covering up the slit in the side so that everybody's reading me and you. This gets put out of play because now your attention goes here. And what I like to do is I like to take and try and fold that out just a little bit so that when I open it, it's obvious that's where the hole was. All right. So as I'm talking, I'm just going to take and try to fold that back so that it's obvious this is where the the spike went through. And you could even do something where if you're using something like this, you could put that right back through and talk about how Jesus is the one that took our punishment. And I'm so glad that he did so that I could be forgiven. So that's the basic idea behind the effect. Again, the first time I saw it was using a dollar bill. And you could do the same thing and carry an effect like that with you in your pocket. But I thought, why not blow it up and use it in a large group setting? So that's the jumbo pen through dollar, but of course it has a gospel message with it. So, all right. One other item that, and I haven't done this yet, but you may want to. This piece here, the me and you, or whatever represents people. I mean, this could be stick figures on here. It could be pictures of people if you wanted it. You might try to make this a little bit more of a permanent piece, whether you have it laminated or you find a way to reinforce this slit so that it doesn't tear. Because this one never changes. You just have to keep redoing the one that actually does get a hole through it, because that's the one that gets destroyed. So that's why I simply just used marker to write the name Jesus on there. All right. All right, thank you.